What's up, everybody? Eric here, Driveline Worlds of Kiss steering wheel holder. Trying to boot myself up. It is 0100 right now, and kind of starting a little bit late tonight because I didn't need to start early. So and I slept. Usually I sleep pretty damn good with the reefer running. But this particular reefer is just on a whole other level. It's funny. So I actually picked up, if you're a long time subscriber, you'll remember a trailer that Jenna and I had when we were a team truck that we named Warhorse. Which, when we used to have trailers for a long time, we would name them. And in that particular instance, we somehow managed to have that. I don't remember how long specifically, but I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks that we somehow had this trailer. Like, it was all live loads and unloads for weeks on end. And so we had the same trailer for, it was like almost a month, I think. It was a crazy amount of time. But in that video, we talked about how when you have a trailer for a long time, you kind of learn its quirks, its strengths and weaknesses. And I was reminded of that trailer because I picked up the other day from the General Mills over in Southeast Ohio. Not Lancaster, but like Wellston, I think, maybe. I'm not 1,000% sure. What is this guy backing up? This guy's set up to back up, and he's set up right in front of me. He has to go into that spot. Better correct that shit, man. So anyway, this trailer that I have, I named Easy E, because it's got no air leaks, which I've had some leaky trailers lately. And one of them, man, this guy, why are you so close to me, dude? He's so close to me. Look at this. You got so much big, wide spaces. Yeah, you better fix that. It's about to hit my mirror. It's such a big space. In fact, you can drive straight through it from the other side. Rental truck and a rental trailer. It's got, like, look how much room you have, dude. I ain't trying to hate here, but my God, man, there's so much room here. Straight back. What was I talking about? Oh, the Easy E. So this trailer's got like no issues. With one exception. Its reefer is loud. It's a 2019 trailer. Its reefer is loud as, dude, this reefer is something else. And it eats a ton of fuel, and he just blocked my light. So I had light, so now we're going to the fuzzy no light video. White Volvo. White Volvos, man. I can't say enough bad things about. I don't trust white Volvos. I'm sorry if you got a white Volvo. White Volvos, I just don't trust them. I don't trust them. Anyway, so the second problem with this reefer is that it eats a ton of fuel. Now I know it's been hot as Hades these last few days, man. It's just been like freaking ridiculous. Like I said in my last video, I sleep during the day. I got up at like I don't know, 18:30 or so last night to go take a leak, and the front part of my truck was just a hot box. And when I stood up, the air in the top half of my sleeper was a hot box. I remember in training trying to sleep in the top of a Cascadia in Arizona. It was just, not when we were going down the road, but when we were parked. you have to sleep up there in the top bunk of a Cascadia. Those of you students in Cascadias right now, you know what I'm talking about. The Peterbilt is way better because it's got the 2 vents on both ends. But the Freightliner's circulation for the top is just like non-existent. Basically, the only place you're going to get cool air in the upstairs is your face right in front of that vent. And then it's only minimal. The rest of your body is just going to bake. But man, the cab of this truck was so hot, other than where I was sleeping. Where I was sleeping is nice and cool and comfy. But anywhere outside of that, my truck was just unimaginably hot today. Because the problem is the roof and the sides and everything, there's no good insulation, so everything just bakes. I mean, it's like an oven. So the reefer, this reefer, just, I had a -1 degree load, and it was working for, it was giving it all it's got, and man, it burned so much fuel. It burned almost half a tank on a 10-hour break. Ridiculous. Like it was set on -1 start stop, and it never stopped. It just cranked in high gear for full 10 hours. So, you know, we don't really get, that I know of, we don't really get compensated more reefer fuel on the load because of high temps, which kind of sucks. And I know when you run in the winter, it certainly, you know, it equals that out. I get that. But man, it sucks right now. I mean, if you're in 5 degrees in the winter, then keeping a load at -1 is going to take like no fuel. It would be quiet more than it's running. But right now, it's something else. So anyway, this trailer I called Easy E because its doors are great, its door handles are great, its seals are great, tires are great. This tandem slides super easy. Chute and everything is excellent. Like, it's just like a low maintenance, no maintenance trailer. Nothing I got to worry about. Other than that reefer is loud and it just eats a ton of fuel. But still, I named this one Easy E. Warhorse, we named Warhorse because that one had some flaws. But because we had that trailer for so long, we just learned its flaws and learned how to work with it. And we put that trailer through hell. I mean, we put it through hell. We drove it through thick and thin, through every kind of extremity, weather-wise, and we just called it Warhorse because it just put up with everything we threw at it. And we learned its quirks and knew it. So anyway, I digress about that. I have ended up having a decent week. I was really scared of this week because my trucks ended up, all the first trips of this pay period were dog shit loads. Very heavy, very cheap rates, and not fuel efficient routes. So I was concerned about how to turn that around, or whether or not we were going to be able to turn that around. And it ended up being because of the one truck was pre-planned a day before he got unloaded, which is so rare these days. And not only was he pre-planned, he was pre-planned for pickup the same day offloaded. Extremely rare. So that worked out, and that one delivers on this pay period. And then when I pulled up Load Choice yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, when I was unloading at a Walmart, there was a pretty, well, actually all 3 loads were pretty good. I didn't take the highest paying load because it delivered after the pay period, and I didn't like the way it delivered. Well, it's not that I didn't like it, it's just that I have preferable. It delivered at a Walmart at 2:30 p.m. I don't like that, man. I don't like the potential of getting stuck at 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the evening with no time on my clock and potentially nowhere to park, no ability to go get a new load. I'll do it. I did it yesterday. My appointment was 1300, and it worked out. I actually got unloaded in just an hour and a half with paperwork at a Walmart. In fact, I was washed out before I got dispatched on the load that I picked. So anyway, I didn't pick the highest paying load. This one is about $2 a mile, but it gets on this pay period, and it's a drop and hook anytime Wednesday. And it goes to a state in a place that I like to reload out of. So, you know, so I'll still get it in Wednesday morning, but I'll be able to go drop it Wednesday morning at like 0600, 0700, and be able to go park wherever I want to. That's the way I prefer to run. If it's going to be a live unload, I prefer for the appointment to be at like 3 in the morning, so that by the time I'm unloaded, I can go park wherever I want. So I'm about to go pick that up. I'm not sure if it's a drop and hook or a live on the 01 on the pickup, because it's a brand new facility. We call it like Cedar cold storage or something like that. I don't know. It's not an Americold. It's not one of the big names, but it's so new that Qualcomm can't find it. And on Google Maps, it's just a field. Like, it has the pin there for the company, but it's just a field in Google Maps. So it's like a brand new, and dispatch can't tell me. They're like, oh, well, we're not really sure. It shows there's a couple trailers there, but we're not really sure if it's a drop and hook or a live load. Which is like, okay, shouldn't y'all kind of have an idea of that? But whatever. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me because I'm only going to take it 115 miles after I pick it up in the morning, and park for the day, and then run the rest of it overnight tonight. So it makes no difference to me. If I got to sit at a dock for a few hours, so be it. I don't really care. But I'm gonna have to use Garmin to get to it, because Qualcomm just has, like, it just can't find it. It can't find the address. It can't find the customer code. It doesn't even try to look. It just says this doesn't exist in our system. So I'm gonna go pick that up. But speaking of load choice, though, this is the point that I've made a few times. You can't always pick the best rate, or I guess you can, but if you do, you got to understand that sometimes the best rate is not the best load. You got to look at other variables in load choice, or in any load that gets dispatched to you. You got to look at all the variables, not just the rate. How much time does it have on it? Does it make this pay period if you need it to make this pay period? How heavy is it? This one is allegedly 35,000 pounds. The better paying one was 44,000 pounds. So fuel efficiency is going to play a role there. What's the temperature setting? How much is it going to cost you to run reefer fuel? Are they dropping hooks? What does the appointment time look like? Where's the reload area that you're going to be at? In fact, not only is this a good reload area, the customer itself has a ton of loads, drop and hook loads that you can pick up. So I'm delivering to a place that I've picked up loads probably, 8 or 10 times. So there's a very high likelihood that, hopefully, that I can drop this loaded trailer and then pick up a loaded trailer. So you got to look at all the variables. So yeah, the other one paid $2.50 a mile. This one pays $2 a mile. But my odds of this being a more successful load and being able to run the way that I prefer and get reloaded in a good place with a more fuel efficient load and on this pay period is kind of what went into my choosing a $2 a mile load over a $2.50 mile load. So anyway, I gotta go fuel this reefer up and then get over. I got like 90 miles, but I want to get to this customer, which I think has overnight parking, but I want to get there a few hours early to beat rush hour traffic because it is a weekday morning. So just want to give you guys an update on that all. So so just in closing, it ended up being a pretty solid week, all things considered, which is, when I say solid, I mean like not terrible, which is the best I could ask for in this freight market. If I can have weeks for my fleet that are not terrible, I'm happy. It's the best I could ask for. So, all right, guys, be safe, make good decisions. Always drive, thrive. Talk to you all soon.